Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper. Today I'll be reviewing the Blue Eagles route from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, one of my very first reviews on this channel was Fire Emblem Three Houses, and yeah, and I think I remember saying that I enjoyed the game, and since then I still find it to be enjoyable, and since then and now I have managed to get through a good majority of one of the routes, that being the Blue Eagles route, and yeah, and today I'm just going to be reviewing and see how I feel with this route in particular. So the route begins truly when I believe when Dimitri finds out that Edelgard is the Flame Emperor, and then the main character, that being you, is knocked out for 5 years, and then then when you wake up 5 years later, you find out that everyone has grown up, and Dimitri has sort of got a grudge against Edelgard because I think it was the thing to do with the Flame Emperor killing Dimitri's family, I think, if I remember correctly, and then throughout the Blue Eagles route, you basically have to try and you basically fight a bunch of other characters from the other houses, like you have to fight the Golden Deer and the Black Eagles, again, like in one of the previous missions, like in the mission where you have to basically the mock battle you do at the start of the game. It's kind of like that, but more deadlier and more ferocious, I would say. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly in terms of the context of that particular battle, but I would say that the Blue Lions route is interesting. I think it's a sort of interesting route to how I've seen some of the characters, especially Dimitri, because with Dimitri, he was this sort of level-headed character. He was able to keep a cool exterior, I would say, but then as soon as he found out about the truth about Edelgard, he kind of snapped and kind of went down a dark path of revenge and anger because of what happened 5 years ago in terms of the context of the route. And I think he has a really interesting arc in the time skip, because he starts out with revenge, and then throughout the missions he starts to learn to have others, learn to trust others, and have the rest of the house have his back in a way. And even though when that happens, the house are kind of I would say against, not against, I would say are kind of unsure about it at first. They do kind of go to his side quite easily, I would say. I would think that maybe if Dimitri would do something maybe to prove himself more, then maybe all the members would start to trust him more and more, I would say. That's how I would probably do it if I was doing the Blue Eagles route. But overall I would say that the route is interesting, and I do like the whole Dimitri's arc in that route. The gameplay is pretty much the same as as it was back in the original, before the 5 year skip, but now everyone has more has all leveled up quite significantly. They've all got better stats, and that's quite interesting, because that's a very good use of the time skip of how all these characters might have started with okay stats, now have a lot better stats now. So some of the things they might be interested in, like spells or swords or lances or whatever, was started off as an E or a D, and now like a B plus or an A, something like that. And yeah, I think that's quite interesting, and I do like all the new designs for these characters, especially Dimitri, because back before the time skip, he had sort of like, he had like one, like part of his head covering one of his eyes, and now he's got like long hair, he's got like this sort of grey and black cloak, and he's also got an eye patch, and that's a really interesting design, because like, this shows how he's just been fighting and fighting and fighting over the last few years, and he's just a mess. He's a complete and utter mess of what he once was, and that's a really interesting way of us showing how much Dimitri has regressed in a way, in terms of, oh, he was once this sort of noble leader of a house, and now he's just this guy out for revenge. And yeah, I do like that, and I would say that all the other characters' designs, or new designs in the 5G skip, is quite interesting as well. They've got like, you know, a new outfit, they might have a new hairstyle, that kind of thing, and yeah, I would say all the missions, a lot of the missions are really fun, and they are a lot harder, I would say, than the missions before the 5G skip, because you've got a lot of more difficult enemies, even though some of them might be from the same, from Garrick Mark, like the 2 other houses, as well as the Death Knight you'll have encountered a couple of times in the game, and yeah, they're all a lot harder, tougher, as well as some new enemies that you might want to try avoid or either battle, depending on if you want to try and get towards the end of a specific mission. But yeah, I would say overall the Blue Lions route is interesting. It's a lot of fun, and it's really interesting way of seeing how these different characters sort of go their separate ways in a way, and see how some particular events change people in a way, that sort of thing. So that's been my review for the Blue Lions route from Fire Emblem Three Houses. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.